Ladies and gentlemen, Sicario: Day of the Soldado is the worst sequel of all time. It's like somebody paid Zack Snyder to make a sequel to Citizen Kane, or as if somebody paid Michael Bay to turn Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket into an action franchise. To give you a sense of the tragedy of this film, we've got to talk about Sicario, one of the best films of the decade, as far as I'm concerned. On its own terms, the sequel is just a muddled and crappy action film. But when you consider how far this franchise that never should have been has fallen, you will get a sense of what I'm talking about. Denis Villeneuve is one of the best directors working today. If you haven't seen Arrival or Blade Runner 2049, you absolutely should. Each of Villeneuve's films deals with a different set of themes in exceptional ways. Artificial intelligence, modern love, loss, and time itself are beautifully dealt with in these films. I'm a bit more cautious in recommending Sicario because it is horrifically violent. And I do mean horrific. Unlike the sequel and most other films out today, the violence is not entertaining. It has real weight.
What the fuck are we doing?
Sicario is about the border between Mexico and the United States and the savage brutality of that border's drug wars. It follows the journey of an idealistic federal agent, brilliantly portrayed by Emily Blunt, as she becomes involved in the U.S. government's attempts to confront some narcos. The evil of drug-related violence is conveyed unforgettably in the film's opening frames, but what makes Blunt's journey to the heart of darkness work so well is the way that the film reveals the evil on the other side of the border. Over the course of Sicario, we are introduced to some of the monsters working on the side of the good guys. I hope you can hear how heavily in quotes I intended to put good guys there. Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin depict two profoundly twisted forces of nature. They fall into action hero archetypes, but the film uses that framing to condemn everything about U.S. drug policy, and maybe I'm getting carried away here, but I also think that the film says something profoundly true and sad about the human condition. If you've got the stomach for it, you should absolutely see this film. In Sicario, Villeneuve uses all of the filmmaker's arts to tell a profoundly disturbing story. It makes Netflix's Narcos, a very competent show that tries to work with similar themes, look like a half-assed episode of CSI by comparison.
She came down to drink mojitos and catch some sun.
Well, it looks like something caught her.
Everything about Sicario is genius. The color scheme, the pacing, the soundtrack, the painfully beautiful choices of shots work in service of its essential message. There are no good guys in the US and Mexico's narco wars. And that's what makes the sequel, Sicario: Day of the Soldado, such absolute trash. Sicario's director, Denis Villeneuve, wisely passed on this project. The message is lost completely. The color scheme, a poor imitation of the pacing, and straight rip-offs of some of the shots survive, but Emily Blunt and the moral weight of the first film are nowhere to be found. Some brainless executive thought he could build an action franchise around Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin's characters. The script incorporates some ridiculously exaggerated war on terror elements that manage to be incredibly cartoonish and deeply offensive at the same time. It's live-action Looney Tunes, basically, that plays directly into Donald Trump's vision of the world and stops just short of endorsing his policies. The evil of these characters survive. At one point, Josh Brolin murders an entire extended family to aid in an interrogation, but we are also supposed to be rooting for these guys somehow. Everything about Sicario: Day of the Soldado is an ungodly mess. Rather than a tale of man's inhumanity to man, we have another U.S. Special Forces power fantasy, wrapped up in the reanimated corpse of a much better film. It's not much fun either. For the love of God, do not go see this film. Rent Sicario instead. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and if you want a free essay on the topic of the drug war, you should click the link here to sign up for my email newsletter. Thanks.